Hello and welcome to Forging the Characters. I'm Shaun, your Forgemaster, and today I'll be showcasing what Hero Forge can do when it comes to making character minis, walking you through ways to use advanced techniques and other tricks and tips in the character builder. Today I'm working on the minis for the upcoming campaign Crash and Burn, DM'd by Tom. It will launch on June the 28th at 6 PM at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. Today I've got mostly pre-made minis from the players and one that I need to make from scratch. As always, I'm looking to tweak these models, try out something new or unusual in order to make each Hero Forge mini unique from one another. Let's get forging. So starting up, I want to do something a little bit different. Normally I work on all of the models one by one and kind of try and pull them together so that they work as a group. I'm going to try working on two of our characters at the same time. So at the moment I have got Hunk loaded up, who is a Minotaur Bard Cleric, played by Chris. And I'm going to be importing the mini for my character, who is Bernard, who is also a Bard, but with Rogue and Barbarian levels as well. And yeah, I just thought because they're both kind of Bards, we could do some sort of fun guitar battle almost sort of look, but it's going to be a lot easier to work on them at the same time, and I will show you some cool tricks for separating them out afterwards, which thank you to Hype, I don't know your real name Hype, just know you as Hypersmurf, on the forums for helping me with working out exactly how this was done. And it's actually a pretty new feature that Hero Forge brought in that was designed for this purpose. It's not a trick. Let's get on with it. This is going to be interesting. I didn't realise quite how tall Hunk was compared to Bernard. So the placement at the moment is not, obviously not finalised. They're both kind of hanging off of the base. That is just so that I can, get to each of the models and kind of see what's going on. So yeah, the intention is just to play around with some sort of kind of duel of the guitars kind of poses. So Hunk's mini, Chris has changed up since appeared in Shadowfell Symphony, and Bernard is actually a character that I played in a home game a while ago, that I really wanted to play again. It's been a while, so I thought I'm bringing old Bernard in. So obviously I already had a mini, and I get to update him with a new pose. So I've just popped into the community folder because I thought someone's going to definitely have made a pose which I can kind of adapt. So I'm looking at this band lead guitar by Dungidun. I'm going to import the pose, which you do by going to the bottom left corner. You can't currently see because that's where my face is, but the bottom left corner where got open copy. I don't want to do that. I want to import some elements. So I click on the arrow next to it and then import. It is a pro only feature. So if you are not pro, consider getting pro because you get all of these cool things such as importing poses. So I have the option of importing from the main and then to the main or the extra. Now, keep this stuff in mind because we're going to be using it again a bit later, but enough said on that. Bernard is the extra on this back module, so I'm going to do that. Click over to extra, and I'm going to tick pose because I'm happy with the species, the outfit, the body colors, and all of that. And you can see that Bernard has now adopted the pose used by the original model. Now, the one thing I do need to check, Bernard plays left-handed, so I am going to have to flip him back over, but that's not a problem. Other than that, I think I'm happy. Just having a look to see whether there might be a pose that I could import for Hunk, but I think it's probably going to be easier for me to just adopt the pose as well. Especially as I want to try and kind of have them interacting a little bit, so I think having... Yeah, it'd be unlikely that I'd find a pose that was exactly right. At this moment, it's not really got the vibe that I want. Kind of looks like Hunk is leaning in for a kiss and Bernard is leaning very much back. Work in progress. Now to work on Bernard, make it look a little bit more like he's enjoying the battle, which was always the intention. It's a friendly rivalry. Thought that might happen. I wanted to try and not have the guitar in both hands, and the pose was actually adapted from one of the dual wielding guitar poses. So, unfortunately, by breaking that, it has changed the pose. So I'm going to have to edit it anyway. I see a little bit better. It looks less like Bernard's punching him in the face now. Still a couple of things that I need to tidy up. But I think I'm happy that the poses complement each other at this point. So I'm going to separate them out. So, first thing I'm going to do is save this one. And I think just to be certain, I'm going to save a copy. Hunk and Burnard. just in case things go wrong. The next thing I need to do, open a new model, and what I do is I go back to that model. So here we go, we have that. Bottom left corner of the screen you can't see because my face is in the way, but yeah, I have the option of copy link, import, move to, or open copy. I'm going for import, the pro feature. And this time I want to import from the extra to the main. And we want outfit, we want species, pose, body colors, theme colors. There we go. Seem to have lost the guitar color, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Okay. Now we have our duplicate Bernard. So there's a couple of things I can see now that I can see past Hunk. We've lost his shield as well. Okay, not a problem. I'm going to scratch that and go to the original Bernard. I'm going to open, I'm not going to save. This is why we do these things. We're learning. The original Bernard has all of his equipment. So I'm thinking when I import the adapted Bernard, we will have all of the stuff. Lost our fancy sword again. So I only put the scabbard in his hand to easily get rid of the unwanted extra guitar. But I actually quite like the colours, so I'm going to just bring those in onto the other scabbard. Quite a lot of clipping going on. We all know how much I dislike the clipping. It's unfortunately part of being able to pose your creation so fully, so completely. You have complete control, and you've got complete control to mess it up. But you can do this. One last thing. We had some flames on that before. I think we want flames again. Last thing for Bernard. Since I first made the model, decals were added, and including tattoos, and I think Bernard would definitely be someone who would have some tattoos, so I'm going to be adding some of those. So we've double checked that we have a copy of this in case we ever want it. But for the moment, this is the original Hunk, and I just need to remove Burnard from it, which is as simple as going to the stage, going to Art Extra, clicking the bin icon, and then Bernard is gone. I just need to recenter Hunk there. And there we have it. Working on 2 minis on one base, and then separating them out into 1 mini on one base. It's as easy as that. I thought I would move on to the character I've got to make from scratch now. That is Hemlock. Hemlock will be played by Mike. And so Mike's character is another Minotaur, a Paladin. And I've literally got about 10 words of description for Hemlock. Mask, kind grin, battle axe and shield, defensive pose. So nice open canvas there. One thing I do have is some pictures. Mike likes to provide us with pictures. So I've got a decent idea of the sort of thing that Mike's going for. I'm making the assumption that in terms of armor and look, Paladin, this image is the reference. But then in terms of actual, the actual Minotaur himself, more this one. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Wish me luck. I often find this, sometimes I'll pick the leg wear or the chest piece or vice versa, and I'm not keen on the way they go together, so I'm going to have to re-choose those legs. So as Mike asked for a defensive pose, I think I want to concentrate the action a bit more on the shield. So just looking for a pose that, yeah, something like this, where the shield is ready and the axe is more getting ready to strike rather than in mid-strike. However, I don't necessarily want the shield to be that raised, so I will edit this a bit. So I'm going to bring in a second Hemlock and do some 2-in-1 mini posing. Some of the items that I've used weren't as close as I felt I could possibly get them, so I'm going to try merging some items. I'm going to do something a little bit weird. I'm going to change the head on the extra into one of the other races because I want to get some of the braids from an extra beard, and I think I wasn't too keen on it when it was on the cow head, but I think another race it would be further back and I can maybe hide a bit more of the beard because it's also a little bit too full. See what we can do. Can't work out if I'm horrified or really pleased that I found a way of slightly changing up the face. I've accidentally created duck pauldrons, and I think they're awesome. I think we're finally ready to start colouring. There we go. I think we're done.
Yep, we've worked on this one before. So I've already played the first episode of Crash and Burn, and a fact came up during the session that I didn't realise. Hemlock is supposed to be big, and specifically bigger than Hunk. And I mean, Hunk's already quite close to the top of the slider, so I thought I should probably revisit Hemlock and just make a couple of tweaks to convey the sense of scale a bit better. Here we go. That wasn't too painful. Okay, I'm going to move on to David's character now. Alba Droxus Malus. Alba is a hobgoblin blade singer wizard. So I've already had the opportunity to play our first episode. So I have a bit of an idea of how the character fights now. And I want to bring some of that kind of dynamicness into the pose. Now what I want to do is use a little bit of a glitch. So if you give this a go and it doesn't work, it just means that the glitch has been fixed. But hopefully it's something that will be possible once we have the foretold feature kit batching. So kit bashing will be in at some point this year, 2022, unless there are delays. Who knows? I'd rather have it complete rather than, buggy as all hell. But that will be exciting. Until then, we have this glitch, and I'll tell you a bit more about that once I get there. Okay, so the first step is to save a version with the weapon that you want. Now, I will only end up with one weapon, but I'm not entirely sure where it will end up at the end of all of this. So I'm hedging my bets. I'm going to try all of the extra arms, and yeah, we'll see which set we need. Okay, we're on to the next step. Step 2 is you save a copy, and all of those weapons that you want, change them into staves. I've gone for the nice basic quarter staff because I'm hoping that has the most wide scales on where it can be held. Reason being, the point of this glitch is to try and create a floating item. And you do that by moving the grip position to the very end of the scale. And this is why I'm hedging my bets, because I don't know exactly where it will end up in each position. So I'm just doing 2 on the left side at the very top. 2 on the left side, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. 2 on the right side, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. That's what I mean to say. And so that looks something like that. And then I import the items from the other one into this version. Now, what I do need to do is just select my pose. It might make me do all that again. So, 2 sets of arms right at the top. 2 sets of arms right at the bottom. Okay, the moment of truth. So we go into our save files. We select the one with the swords we want to use. And then we go to the bottom left corner that you can't see because my face is in the way. We go to import pro functions. And it takes us to this screen. Now, fingers crossed this works. I want to import the pose. And there you have it. So it looks like the swords at the bottom of the pole are the ones we want, because otherwise we've got a painful gripping it by the blade. So you know for next time. And I will accept. So I've got my other arms more or less where I want them, just because it's important that the clavicles, the shoulders are resting where they're going to be. And now what I need to do is hide one of those extra arms in such a way that the sword is floating where I want it, and not just randomly. Well, it's not really going where I want it, so I'm going to try the other arm. I think I'm happy with the pose, so the last thing is just to colour the scimitar in the same colours that David originally wanted. And we're good. Wondering if that's overkill. Okay, there we go. Two versions of Alba. We'll see which one makes the cut. And finally, I am moving on to Myrta, who will be played by M. Now, those of you who watched Ancient Antics, you might recognise Myrta as the wizard that sent the knights on the merry dance around looking for answers and this mysterious great evil. And Myrta's going to be brought in as a PC, so that's fun. M has requested that I don't do anything to the pose. They're quite happy with it, so I'm just going to change up the base, and that'll be it. There we go. One Myrta, pose untouched. Okay, there we have it. All done. One final thing. Those of you who are eagle-eyed may have spotted that when I was adjusting Hemlock's size up, that the symbol changed on the shield. That is because one of the shields was slightly more pushed out than the other one. So that symbol was predominant. But then when I changed the sides, for some reason they switched around. So, yeah, I know. It meant that the symbol on the shield changed. So I took that opportunity to make the symbol a little bit more close to Mike's description in episode 1, which I've already mentioned. I've already now played. And it's now I've used a kind of 3-leaf clover design and a splatter to make it look a little bit more like a key, which I understand might be thematic. Who knows? But that's everything that we've got this week. So I hope you've enjoyed all of the various models that we've made together. And until next time, happy forging.